Welcome to another PC Systems edition of NCIX Tech Tips. Today we've got the 505IE, and this may not be the first time you've ever seen a sweet, sexy, powerful rig in a BitPhoenix Prodigy, but I can tell you, this is the first time you've ever seen one that is all EVGA inside. Now, the most obvious thing about the outside of this system is going to be the, well, duh, NVIDIA green themed color of this particular BitPhoenix Prodigy is extremely striking looking and definitely looks gaming grade, gaming ready. At the front of the system, you find a clean front exterior, no 5 1/4 inch bay installed. If you really do want an optical drive, of course, you can upgrade using the NCIXPC configure-malator on the website. On the right-hand side, we find one of the unique aspects of the Prodigy, and that is the side-mounted I/O. So power reset, indicator LEDs, and 2 USB 3.0 super speed ports. On the left side of the system, we find the window that reveals, that sexy GTX 760 ACX EVGA graphics card with some lighting effects showing through on it from the two 120mm green LED fans in the top that are matching the rest of the color scheme of this system. And on the back, we find yet another EVGA hint. So there's some liquid cooling radiatorness going on before we get this open. There's the I/O for the graphics card, which of course supports NVIDIA 3D Vision Surround with up to 3 surround displays and 1 auxiliary display. And finally, yes, an EVGA branded I/O shield, which means that must be an EVGA stinger inside there. And is that an EVGA power supply? I guess the only way to find out would be to open it up. Also, there's ventilation on the top. Now, opening up the BitPhoenix Prodigy is as simple as removing 4 thumb screws, sort of. Because you want to be careful when you're removing that one that has the front I/O built into it, because obviously it has some wires attached to it. So we're going to pull off the windowed side panel first, giving us a clear look at that gorgeous GTX 760 ACX from EVGA. So it's got dual fans on it for, well, having more cooling than if you just had a single fan on it that size. They're also very large diameter fans, which is going to give an advantage versus graphics cards that use smaller diameter or even thinner fans, because static pressure is usually more important for cooling a dense fin array than the actual airflow spec of a given fan. We've also got, yes, an EVGA 500B 80+ bronze power supply down there. So 500 watts is going to be enough for all the components that are in here and any overclocking you could want to do. There's a 120 gig Kingston SSD now V300, which is one of the best value SSDs on the market today. And then once we open up the other side, carefully, see, there's those wires I was talking about, we will see revealed, yes, the Corsair H40 that's cooling our 4670K, the 8 gigs of Kingston Blue Black Edition memory, as well as the EVGA Stinger MITX motherboard. Also, cooling has not been skimped on in this system. So you can see there are 2 120mm cooling fans here in the front, 2 120mm cooling fans here in the top, and finally a last 120mm cooling fan here in the back. Cable management is done in much the same way that you'll see on most Prodigy builds, with the excess cables hidden over here by the side of the power supply where there's really nothing that they can interfere with, especially not your airflow. So this is the part at the end of the video where I talk about the value-add extras, such as the free copy of Batman Arkham Origins and, of course, the free copy to Windows 8.1, codename Blue, whatever you want to call it, from the existing Windows 8 64-bit that's on the machine already. I also often throw in sort of some suggestions. If you were to upgrade this machine and make it a little bit more versatile, I would probably add something like a 2 terabyte storage drive in addition to the boot SSD that's already inside. Thank you for checking out this systems edition of NCIX Tech Tips on the 505IE. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this from NCIX.com.